welcome to the Bold Black Girls podcast. I'm Aries.
And I am Kim.
And we continue with the conversation.
We couldn't stop.
And we figured, you know what, let's just record another episode and we'll throw this in as a bonus. So we're going to keep talking about this stuff because we know relationships are, they're life.
They are, and relationships are evolving. We talked about our past. I don't necessarily like to reflect on the past a lot.
I don't like to.
I'm learning to forgive, let go. Right?
Forgive and let go.
But don't forget the lesson.
Yeah, because if you do that, then
you're going to repeat it.
Yeah, and I've definitely repeated some things. I was like, okay, you know what?
And you're going to repeat the lesson until you learn the lesson.
I realized that, and that is why I think this go around of this season,
yes,
to use your word, this season of my life, I'm like, no, I'm over that. Like, I don't want to keep repeating the same thing over and over.
I don't either.
I'm done with that. We're going to take this test and we're going to pass.
Right. So we talked about how the sum of your experiences and your past shapes who you are. So your past relationships, and we also talked about closure and healing and forgiveness. So let's talk about what our lessons learned are. Like current state and future state, where are we? So I like to say one of my most profound lessons learned is that love is being considerate, is being selfless.
That is actually, if you had to define it, I feel like that is why they say God is love, because when Jesus came and died, that was the ultimate sacrifice of love, right? That is really how, as a Christian, we will say, you know that God loves you. You know, that is like he sent his only begotten son to come and die. It is sacrifice. Like, it is showing you that I care this much that I'm willing to sacrifice. You know, like when your kids want your food.
Yep. And
that's like, you know, I'm like,
that happened last night.
I be feeling guilty.
Kiara asked for Capri's, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I like to get individual cranberry juices.
Are you talking about the Capri Sun?
Capri Suns.
Mm-hmm.
So I buy individual size cranberry juices, and so she comes in late last night. It's the last one. Can I have your cranberry juice? That's love.
You were like, fine.
I'm like, go ahead.
And I'm the opposite, because like I had some watermelon the other day. I had some watermelon, and I purposely cut it in small pieces because I knew I was about to go sit on the couch with LJ and Marvin. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, they about to be bumming off my stuff, right? LJ's the worst since he was a baby.
Oh,
like
gosh.
he would open my mouth, be like, "What are you eating?" Like he wanted to. He'd be like he could smell it. He's looking. He was like, "I want some." Like it's a joke now between me and him. Like he knows that I know that he's in my food. So I cut it up in small pieces. I was like, they about to bum off me, so let me just get enough to share. And then we got down to the last 3 pieces. So I'm like, cool, everybody will get one
piece, right?
And then we're done. Of course, Marvin. So I've already given them both a piece. And Marvin says, can I have that one? I said, no. I said, why do you think it was cut up in small pieces in the first place? Because, see, I could have sat here and eaten this by myself and not felt guilty about it, because I don't have to give you my food. It's not like your livelihood depends on me feeding you, but I decided that I was going to sacrifice some of my food for you, and then I ate that piece right in front of his face.
See, you just said a word.
See?
So
what'd I say? Come on, give me my nugget.
Giving, right?
Yes.
You give more than you take. So
yes,
that is true sacrifice.
That is sacrifice.
When you let your children eat that last bite, and you want it, right?
Because 90% of the time, that's what I'm doing anyways. You know, usually it's like, here, fine, bye.
Right. So you might go hungry, right? Because you didn't get that last bite.
Yeah.
To give it to your child.
See?
Why don't we do that in relationships?
I know. I think, and that's the part that I think, kind of going back on the last episode when I was talking about our friendships and how we'll kind of give our friends more grace.
Yes.
I think than we do in relationships.
I think
right?
so
like,
too.
Me and you can get into it. I don't think me and you've ever had a fight though. But like, we can just, I feel like it's more understanding, but it's based on the trust factor and the goal, like knowing that, you know what, I value this relationship. I think it does have something to say about how you feel about that relationship, right? Where it's like, if you're in something with someone, maybe it's new, you don't know if it's going to last or not, and if it's worth it, right? So that's always the hard part.
Grace. I'm in a season of grace.
Are you?
I am. I'm letting people come in traffic when I wouldn't typically let them in. I'm just like, give them grace, Lord.
Yeah, because
they might be going somewhere.
Because you almost didn't when we was in the car together.
Well, it depends on what type of music I'm listening to, too.
Yeah, because she drives faster when she's listening to trap music. I'm like, Kim, you're driving. Don't forget.
And I put her in the back seat. She know her place.
Yeah, because I don't like people driving me as it is.
So
you got to know yourself.
You do. So that's actually next up. And I'm going to say or ask you, what is your most profound lesson?
My most profound lesson. Ooh, it's hard to just like give it in one thing, but
well, we can talk about more. But like, what is the one thing that stands out for you?
For me, it is being honest with myself about why I'm choosing to be in a relationship with this person. Wow. What is your truth? Because that's the core of how you end up in the wrong relationship. You're looking for something. You're, whatever it is. Everybody has like this reason, but I don't want to settle. So, I'm not just going to be in something because I don't have
just
to be
because.
Yeah, it's like I don't have a reason to just have to be in a relationship. So now I feel like it's actually better because it's like I don't have those same
I really like
reasons. I don't want kids. I don't need your money. I don't need
your...
You almost shout. I don't need your money. I don't need your, it's like I don't need those things. So I'm choosing to be around anybody that's in my life right now.
Friends, male or
male so that's really love in all aspects. It's not just romantic. I think that's the main thing is saying make sure you're doing it for the right reasons.
I like that. I think I'm gonna use that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leverage that.
Yeah.
What's the reason? Because a lot of times we're in a society where they want to check off a box. I'm in a relationship, or they want to update their Facebook status in a relationship.
I know. I don't even have that functionality on mine.
Either. I was like, delete.
When I got divorced, I didn't want to tell everybody that I was divorced on Facebook. Because, as soon as you change your status, it's like, Aries is divorced.
Right.
And they were like, oh, sorry to hear that. And all in your business. I had stopped putting pictures on Facebook a year before.
Wow.
Because I told you I pre-breakup.
You saw it coming. You said I pre-breakup.
I pre-breakup. So I had stopped putting pictures. So I was like gradually deleting him out of my social media so that and nobody noticed. I had one cousin
that noticed it.
Jumped in my DMs and said, I noticed you haven't posted any pictures. I said, girl, we've been divorced. Look, now by the time that you asked, I've been divorced.
And over it.
So it's like, oh, no big deal, but I took that whole functionality off so that it didn't notify people.
Yeah, and to each his own, but I don't think I didn't share when I was in a relationship with someone.
Like on social media?
No.
I don't post pictures and all that. I feel like the time that I post like a picture of me and my guy, it's going to be, I'll probably have a ring on my finger.
Solid.
Yeah, it's like I'm not, I just don't want people in my business.
Right. And that's my preference. Like I said, to each his own. I don't knock it because there are some people who post it and I'm like, oh, that's cute.
I think it's adorable.
Yeah, I do too.
But then when y'all break up, you better explain something to me on social media. I need an explanation.
You need an explanation.
What happened? Because I've been in this relationship.
Yeah,
with
we're
you guys.
in this together.
We're all
You've
in
been
this.
Sharing.
I'm hearting stuff, and then next thing I know, the dude is gone or the chick is gone. I'm like, what happened to our friend?
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Okay. So we've talked about knowing yourself. And I think that is part of, when you go in, get into a relationship, knowing how do you love? Because I've come across some people, we don't love the same. And I don't know if it's how they were brought up.
It could be those 5 love language things.
Correct. And I was just going to say, we took the love languages. That's part of your personality. I know that matters. Like, okay, do they prefer quality time? Do they want gifts? So you know how to love that person and what they're looking for.
I think, I know how to get a husband. I have experience there.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
I'm going to write a book with an alias because I don't want it to be known that it's for me. But how to get a husband 101. Sign me up. One of those is knowing the person's love language and how to feed that. That is going to be key in any relationship, right? Some people do it in a way that's not good because you're just doing it to like appease this person. You're not really trying to be what they need you to be. But if my guy is a word of affirmation person, then I'm making sure that when I'm speaking to you, it's in that voice, right? Where I'm more conscious of those needs than any other time. If it's a quality time person, then you're gonna need to make sure you're spending time with this person because that's important to them, and that shows them that's the action that they need to feel to know that you love them. So me, acts of service. That's very important. I like it. Just I don't know why it is. It just that's one of my top things.
They say that your love language stems sometimes from your childhood. So was your father an acts of service type of guy? No.
He was a quality time guy.
Okay.
Which that's also another one of mine.
Right.
So like I would sit on the couch and watch the sports with him, and I kind of made him, because he was just living his life. I don't think he was like being like I'm quality time. He was spending time with me, but I was spending time with him doing his life. It wasn't like we weren't going to amusement parks and stuff like that. But we would go to dinner. We would, hang out. We watch the 49ers. We go to baseball games. Those are his interests. And then I started taking interest in what he was interested in because I'm like, well, this helps me get more quality time with him. So we sit on the couch. I'm like, what team you rooting for?
Right.
And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to take the blue team. You got the white team. And then I made a game out of it. But I don't know how I figured out that works. But see, I learned that at a young age that to get more quality time with my dad or to get that attention, then I'm going to,
So you were also sacrificing and compromising too, because even though you didn't like it, you said, you know what, this is my way of getting time with him.
Yeah, and I started liking it after a while.
Right. And so mine are similar. It's just reversed. Mine is quality time and acts of service. And I would attribute that to my father.
Because he was running baths and stuff.
Running baths, and we would watch wrestling and Sanford and Son, and what's this other one?
A show?
Yeah, so In the Heat of the Night.
That's my mom's show.
And I guess hence the so I still watch In the Heat of the Night.
See?
I don't watch wrestling anymore, but that was our quality time. I would go outside with him while he was watering the grass. And if he was working on a car, I would be right behind him in the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. So, and his acts of service, just always doing something for me. And he would ask me, and when I read that book, the Gary Chapman 5 Love Languages, it was profound. It said to ask him, how can I serve you? Mm-hmm. Do you need anything? So even till this day, I do that to my daughter. What can I do to help you? This week, do you have any challenges where I can help you?
And I just lied earlier because I said he wasn't. But as you're talking, I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm like, wait, he was though. Like, my mom never gave me a ride to school.
Wow.
Never.
Ever.
I was on the public transit at 7.
Wow.
2nd grade, public transit. Give me a transfer. I mean, that's how it was. We didn't have yellow buses coming to pick us up.
We didn't either in Chicago.
But my dad would come pick me up when it was raining or something. Like, I'll be like,
acts of service.
My mom would not, you better not miss that bus.
Wow.
And so he would come and he did not live like super close. It was just like he would get up and come pick me up and drop me off and stuff like that. So, yeah.
My dad took me to school too. He had a Sanford and Son truck. So the kids would tease me.
Really?
And so one day I told him, I said, hey, can you drop me off down the street? Mm-hmm. And so he must have told my mother. And she was like, why did you have him drop you off down the street? And I said, well, the kids are laughing at me. She said, half the kids don't have daddies.
Ooh.
I was like, oh.
Your mom is a trip. Ooh, your mom don't play no game.
And I thought about that. And I'm like, she does have a point.
Because you know how people tease because they don't have something or they wish they had what you had. Sometimes that's the reason. Because I probably would have clowned you even though I had a dad.
Correct.
But because I'm just an a-hole. But that's true. That is true.
And at that age, you don't know. And so like before school, he would literally take me to McDonald's to get me food. Mm-hmm. So hence the love of stopping and snacks. And that was an act of service because he really should have just taken me straight to school. And so they were like, yeah, we saw your daddy over there at the McDonald's with that Sanford and Son truck.
Whatever, but I was eating McDonald's.
I was eating McDonald's in a warm truck getting dropped off at the door.
See?
And I'm asking him to drop me off.
And they were probably mad.
Yeah.
That's what happened. That's how you learn how to get back with him. What your mom say? Get back with him.
Get back with him now. You have to shut me up.
Right.
So knowing yourself, knowing that person.
Yeah.
What are some other lessons learned? I would say working on yourself.
That is, I can't stop. Like, I feel like I'm at the point of no return now. You know, but you start seeing, it's like being woke. You know, like people say, you woke. Once you start discovering yourself and liking yourself, you want to improve. You want to be better.
Right.
And then I'm not doing it because I want to be better for someone. I'm doing it because I want to be better. And hopefully, you know, you appreciate the work that I'm doing and you're doing some of your own, because I can't heal you.
Right. So while I was going through that whole transition period, I worked on myself physically, mentally, emotionally, and even financially.
Oh, financially is very key. Our pastor did a series some years back called Chemistry. If you, I don't know if it's still available, but it's like 2015 or something. But one of the things he talked about is while you're single, you should be working on yourself, and that includes financial, like get out of debt.
Right.
You know, and that's something that I did. I did that too. I was like, I want to be better all around. I don't want to be a burden on somebody. Now, I got a house note worth of student loans, but I don't have other debt.
Right.
You know, so I think that's important too, to make sure that you are working on all the things that you need to be better. I want to be a person where I'm not a burden on somebody.
I was going to say, I don't want to bring the burden to the relationship, right?
Right.
Because we all have baggage at the end of the day. But I don't want to bring that type of burden and baggage.
Exactly.
Because I incurred that on my own without you, and I don't want your burden either.
Exactly. I'm just not into it. That's just not my deal. Because that's a part of my personality too. Like, I had a lot of pride, you know, growing up, and that's been something that I had to kind of shed a little bit, because I wouldn't even ask for help for anything, because I didn't want to be the person who was bumming off of somebody, or I would hear family members being like, so-and-so asked me for some money. They be complaining, talking about people behind their back. So I'm like, I'm not about to be the one you talking about this week, you know. So I just wouldn't ask for help, and I would just make it work.
I'm probably the same, very independent.
My dad is the only one I would ask for stuff.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm your only child, so I would be like, who else you gonna buy stuff for? I mean, if not me, then who?
So
I never asked.
I really had to ask. Like, my dad was very more so proactive.
Yeah.
My dad was like that too. You look like you need shoes. Let's go get shoes.
Yeah, but see, my dad knew I wouldn't ask. So a lot of times he would just put some money in my account. And I'd be like, oh, Dad. Like, I wouldn't even notice because I hadn't paid attention, you know. And then I'll look and be like, you put some money in my account? Or he'd be like, did you see your account? You know, or something. I say, oh, thanks, Dad. Because he just knows, you know, that I'm not.
They just know.
I'm not going to ask. Which I think, speaking of that, when we get on relationships, that is something that I have issue with. Like, if I have to ask for stuff, I don't like it. Like, it makes me feel a certain way. It's like, if you know that I need something, not that I'm trying to, you
anticipate the
but
needs.
just know, you know, like, don't make me ask. I'll ask for certain stuff, but I'm working on it. You know what I mean? Like, if I need something, I will ask. And it's not just all tangible stuff, but just period. Like, if I need more time, if I need more, whatever my love language thing is, I need to be more vulnerable to say that I need the help. And that's in general. Like, even with you would offer to help with my kids. And I would first be like, no, I'm good. I don't need no help. And then after I'm like, shoot, come on over here. I don't got no shame. Don't you want to come see them? Now you got to stop.
They looking for you, girl. They looking for you.
Exactly. So it's a growth thing.
It really
all
is.
around.
Because I have challenges asking as well.
Yeah.
I do.
It's hard.
And I think our dads, I'm not going to say they did us an injustice. They set the baseline.
Yeah.
For us, I'm very appreciative for it. I think that's why I'm like, if he ain't running bath water.
But do you tell them that that's something that you want? See?
Nope.
And some people,
I might mention like, hey, yeah, my dad used to run my bath water.
Well, I mean,
that's indirectly telling them.
Yeah, that's indirectly telling them.
But they have to be invited over to run some bathwater.
I mean, you gotta be.
We have to be somewhere where you can run some bathwater. Right. I'm not at that point.
Yeah, it's not like nobody living up in your house or nothing. So.
Right. So, working on yourself, being emotionally, mentally, physically, and financially ready, healthy and whole. I think a lot of times back in the day, they would say in a relationship is 50-50. No, you need to bring your whole self.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
I don't either.
There's no you complete me. This
yes,
is not
I'm
Jerry
already
Maguire.
complete and whole by myself. Very big and complete.
Well-rounded.
Well-rounded. What I say? Fluffy and flexible.
Oh my gosh. Exactly though. I mean that says a lot because some people really look to other people to like fulfill, this gap that they think they need, or they don't like themselves. They don't like spending time with themselves.
To be by themselves.
Looking for someone to be that person. It's like, don't look to me to be a person because I got a life. I have things that I'm doing that are outside of this, and you hopefully have some things you're doing outside of this, and then we can come together. But don't rely on somebody else to be your person. Go get a therapist. Go do the work. Go make sure you're going to your doctor's appointments and
that's important.
All that kind of stuff,
Your checkups.
Because as we get older, it's like we signing up for some illnesses and carrying on. Like, do I want to take care of you? Because that's the part of it. That is true. That's going to be a part of it.
Sickness and health.
It's in sickness and health.
So yeah, you want to be healthy.
Before.
Right.
As much as you can.
As much as you possibly can.
There's some stuff that obviously we can't control that may happen to us. And so that is the part I feel like, but don't purposely be out here just eating cheeseburgers every day.
Being
expecting me to be the one that's like giving you your blood pressure medication because you can't stop eating. Come on. Work with me.
I agree. So, and you said something earlier. Be interesting.
Be interesting. What do you got that you can teach me?
Yes.
I want to learn.
And I'm open to learning.
I don't want to be the teacher all the time. How do we have intelligent conversations where I can inquire about your interest, your hobby, your job, whatever it is that I don't know already?
Because I don't want to always be the one that's kind of guiding the conversation.
How are you going to be the leader?
Right. Yes.
You can't set the vision because you don't have one. The CEO of the relationship sets the vision. The COO, that's operations. We're making it happen. See, that's me. I'm the COO in this thing. I love it. You give me the vision, I'm going to make it happen. I'm an action person.
You're going to execute. You're an activator.
Yep, I'm an activator. That's one of my strength finders. So, yeah, it's like I need somebody that has that going on.
I do, too. And achieve some goals. Like, I took that time I went back to school for, continuing education.
Mm-hmm.
So I can better myself, right? Continuous improvement. It could be professionally. It could be spiritually. It doesn't necessarily have to be career focused. It's just something that'll help you as a person.
Yeah. And I think it does something to you when you accomplish goals.
It does.
It builds your confidence.
Absolutely.
And nobody wants to be with somebody who has low self-esteem or low confidence. Like, I want someone who's confident in whatever your abilities and skills and talents are.
And one of the other things that we did, I think you need to work on your happy, because sometimes people look to others for their happiness.
And that's the recipe for disaster.
Yeah. So remember we wrote the happy list?
Yes.
And we wrote everything.
What are you happy about?
And it was everything that didn't require money.
Yep. My list was pretty long.
Mine was too.
I was like, I love my baths. Right. I love sunny days.
Yes.
Music.
I love exercising, water, walking, nature.
Beaches.
Yes.
Jill Scott. I think that was on my list.
I think I put music.
I had a whole bunch of stuff, but just find things that make you happy, because you know what happens
it's not connected to a person.
Life is going to always give you something to complain about.
Yes.
And I started having this thing where I'm like, I was saying I can't complain, because I could complain, but it ain't gonna do no good. Like, what's the point, right? If I'm complaining, it's though you have your moments for that, right? But to be happy is a state. Yes. You're not always gonna feel happy. You're gonna have times when you're this way or that way. But that's when people say, what about joy? Like, joy is different than happiness.
Right.
Because happiness is temporary. But joy is something that you just constantly are saying, you know what, I'm trying to look at everything. Hard times. I'm looking at the bright side most of the time. Like, I'm trying to find the silver lining, you know, because if you can get depressed, like, all of that is connected. How you think.
I absolutely agree. And you said a word. So,
come on.
I love joy, right? And I think that in this season of singleness, you really have to enjoy that season.
Yes. I used to not understand that. Remember we had the singles conference and they were like, the preferred life.
The preferred life.
That was the hashtag preferred life. And I'm like, I mean, really though? Like
should I?
I mean, you know, but as time went on, I started learning. Yes, I get it.
I get it. I get it. And I'm okay with it.
I am too, because I think actually if you are satisfied with your singleness, and that doesn't mean, you know,
you don't have moments when
you don't want to have a relationship one day. You can, but just be like, hey, this is where we are now, so I'm going to maximize this thing until it's not that anymore. And then, you know, you're bringing someone who is satisfied with themselves in their life, but into a relationship, and not somebody who's like, oh, you're here? Come. You know, that's when they talk about thirst.
Yes.
You know, right? You're like, oh, yay, I got you. Come. I'm holding on to you forever. You know, it's like, okay, calm down. Like, aren't you good?
I think that was one of the other most profound things that I've learned is that you do really have to enjoy that season. So, you may not have someone that you can go out with, but you have girlfriends, other male friends. We have a village.
I have a bunch of male friends, guys that I could bounce things off of that are genuine friends that can tell me you being stupid, you know, or whatever right now, you being over the top. The male perspective. A bunch of female friends that are from every spectrum that I can do different things with. If I want to go to a pool party, I got friends over here. If I want to go to a networking event, I got friends over here. If I want to go travel, I got travel friends. If I got, like, you got to have a plethora of things that can really make you satisfied.
Right, because you don't want to wait for that man, and it may or may not happen because marriage is not something that may happen.
It's not guaranteed.
Right?
And it's not guaranteed.
You have to be okay with that.
And that's not an end result. It's not like, let me plant my flag now. I've accomplished marriage. It's like, that's not, I don't think that is I think you can accomplish goals with a partner. Things are easier. I mean, as a single mom, I will say, and I don't like always saying single mom because their dad is around, but he's not my partner in life. You know, he's my partner as a parent. And so we work together for our kids, but I don't have, like, you know, someone helping with these bills.
Change a light bulb.
That make a
filter
difference.
Or something.
You know, like, shoot. So, you know, I used to, when we first broke up, I'll be like, hey, my light bulb needs to be changed in the, you know, on the porch, or my filter in the house. And he would do it because, like I said, we were friends, and I consider us friends now. But, you know, it's like having someone that's always there. That can make things easier, or if it's the wrong person, that could not make it
I was going to
easier.
say, depending on who it is, and as you have stated before, and so has our pastor, that the married want to be single and the single want to be married.
That's true. And I've been married twice, so I can tell you, don't just jump in it. I know people think that it's all about that wedding and stuff, and it's not.
It's more to it.
I promise you. Like, I remember my first marriage, I immediately regretted it. Like, we got home, we were about to change because we were going to the honeymoon and whatever, and I was just like, I really just got married, for real. Like, I can't just break up with this dude, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, but it's real life, you know, you are doing life with another human that is not raised in your same household, was not raised with the same values and beliefs and all that stuff. Like, it's not what you think it is.
It's work.
It is work.
I haven't
and
experienced it, but I've seen and experienced it as far as like being a child of two parents who are married. So I know it's work. Two different personalities from two different generations, as a matter of fact, and just upbringing.
Yep. And I don't necessarily need you to have the same as me.
Right.
But I don't know. I think it's just certain, like you said, core values that you need to have.
But it does matter, which brings us into our next red flags, triggers, and deal breakers.
Man.
So we talked earlier about what we don't want, because knowing what you don't want helps you to develop what you do want.
That is very true. And sometimes you got to start there. Right. You might not know what you do want until you know what you don't want.
Right. And I know I don't want someone who doesn't have the same values. That's the
core. Core values are key. And you need to know what your core values are before you start saying that, right? You need to know that. And that may be an assignment for people to do, is define what your core values are. And you may not be able to just rattle them off, but just know that these are some things I'm not willing to budge on.
Right. And, as far as what can you give to a relationship as well? Because a lot of times it's like we write down what we want, but what can you give?
Yeah, I am big on trust and loyalty.
Yes.
With all my relationships, period. Friends, romantic, all that. And it's like, if I feel like you're going to lie to me, or I can't really trust you with my vulnerability. And I may not be able to do that right away, because, vulnerability is something that you kind of gradually do. But I've had where people have used that in a negative way instead of for you. Like, when you can tell when someone's like for you, like they want your best, they have your best interest in mind. But trust is a big deal for me.
Along the lines of, and I think integrity is about the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? So
basically,
if I'm not there, I trust that you're going to do what you say you're going to do, or you're going to do the right thing. Is absolutely a core value. And another core value, I would say for me, is, do you value family and friendship?
Yeah.
That's going to show me how you could potentially treat me.
That's true.
The relationship you have, and not just with your mother, but just with your family in general. And I know we all have strained relationships sometimes with our families, but it's like, how do you handle it? Have you gotten healed from it? If you do,
yeah, I need you to be working on. Well, my first deal breaker, I'll say. I don't even want to say that, but because I feel like I don't like defining deal breakers. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm in a different phase of like trying to analyze things a little bit differently.
I think we're more open and flexible.
Yeah, more open.
You have to understand that person, who they are.
Yeah,
where they come from. But see,
that comes from the honesty piece, right? Like, if you're not honest with who you are, how am I gonna know you? Like, give me a chance to know the real you. Like I said, I'm showing you my closet. I'm showing you my
right.
I'm trying to show as much as I can, because I want you to see this is me. I want to see the same thing. I want to see you and where your, what is your life like? Like, who are you?
Right.
Well, like, that's a big deal. And if you're not honest with yourself, or you're trying to like put a front up to look like something better, I'm not attracted.
So what are you attracted to?
Confidence. Mm-hmm. Now I'm getting more, which is sad to say now, but I'm just more attracted to someone who has a source, like God is really, and you have a relationship. Not like you are living perfectly or following all the rules and all that kind of stuff, but true relationship with God is not about rules. It's about, do you know where to go when you need help? Like, you're not one person who's just going to bury your head in the sand and give up on life. Like, are you a person who's like, you know what? Hold on, we need to pray. Like,
right. Because as a leader, you have to have someone you go to, right?
My dad is like, where the blessed oil at? We about to anoint the house. Like, I need to just know that you have a, that core kind of, that's a part of the core values that are big for me. Because I don't want to be the spiritual leader. I mean, I'm the spiritual leader right now, but I want having someone else that is doing the same thing.
Because sometimes we get tired of leading as single women, leading households.
I can't wait to lay my head down. I'm serious. It's almost bad, because it's like, so like, I'm putting the weight on you.
Right.
Like, look.
And my head is heavy. And I have a lot going on up here.
This big old head is gone. I'm for real. I'm like, oh, for real? Oh, you gonna take care of it? Cool. Let me sit back and relax.
That's sexy, yeah. And so what I'm attracted to is intelligence, mental stimulation, hints of gray. That's wisdom. Wisdom. Someone who has hobbies, like Because hobbies make you interested sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I go and I do this, and I golf, or I'm on a league.
Yeah.
Right?
Hobbies are fun. It makes you know, like, what they're,
How you spend your time, too.
Yeah.
That'll tell me, how are you spending your time?
Are you napping all day?
Right. Well,
Naps are good. Are you napping all day? Are you playing a lot of video games? Like, I need to just know, not that it's, anything wrong with video games or anything like that, but are you playing video games all day? Because then you're not reading books, you're not doing other things. You might not be
showering if you're playing games all day.
Right. I need to know that you have other things going on.
That's true.
With your life that you enjoy. Do you play an instrument?
Ooh.
Do you, I don't know.
Like you said, do you read? Because I read.
Yeah. A lot of guys, I find I'm not going to say a lot of guys don't read, but I just think women read a lot more, in my opinion.
But nowadays, you really don't have an excuse because now you can get an audio.
That's true. And I actually buy a lot of audio.
Right. And you have podcasts. So you can say, no, I don't read, but I listen to TED Talks. I'm like, oh, that's sexy. What TED Talk you listening to?
Right. Because I know Kim got a link for everything.
And please don't ask me who is Ted. Google that on the side.
Don't ask. Do not ask. Be like, wait, what? Oh, God.
Yes.
I'm judging.
Well, I don't want to judge because there's, like I said,
I don't want to, but
there's something for everybody, right? And we all have preferences, right?
That is true.
Somebody might not want fluffy and flexible.
He's not for you though.
That's right, and I'm okay with that.
That's why I keep telling everything. I'm like, look, here's what you're getting. I am a flawed being. I'm working on, being better. This is the real though. I yell at my kids sometimes. I just try to think of all the things that I'm doing, that aren't necessarily something that everybody might like.
Right.
And just let you know so that you see what you get.
I'm from Chicago. I have a little bit of South Side in me.
A little bit.
Just a smidge. I moved here. I'm still a hashtag city girl before city girls was even a group. I was a city girl.
Right.
So I'm a hashtag black mama.
Oh, I'm definitely a hashtag black mama.
I'm no longer in that season.
Yeah, I'm the black mama.
You are.
I am the epitome of a black mama.
You put the hash in the black mama.
It's something that happens like when you have kids. It injects. When the kids come out, it injects.
Because you don't have it.
Because it's just straight. It's like all the sayings. It's like all the ancestors come and they lay it on you because I just it just flows.
It literally flows.
Get over here looking all musty and stanky. Get your little butt in the shower.
Smelling like outside.
Soap. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, y'all smell like some little puppy dogs. So yeah, I'm definitely a hashtag black mama. Yeah, so I think, with all that being said, it's like knowing what your triggers are may not be that person is bad. It's just that might be a reminder that, ooh, I need to heal from that, because I know for me, like I said, I have flight instead of fight.
Right.
And so I have to be conscious of that and say, ooh, this is a trigger right now. Like, this is triggering me to feel this type of way. So I need to address that either by this may really be a deal breaker, or is it just me having not healed from that yet? And I need to work on that. So I don't know. I think I'm just kind of in an open phase of really learning and not being so quick to just run.
Right. Or dismiss.
Yeah.
I think I'm in the same, just being open.
And that's not easy.
It's not. It takes patience.
Because you got to really know yourself and be aware, because you may need to run. It may be somewhere you do need to run. So let's not don't overanalyze too hard, but really be honest with yourself about why, you're feeling the way you're feeling about something. Because something might be because they're challenging you to do something that you might not be ready to do.
This is true.
Because that happens where I've had relationships where I might be challenging this person in a way that they're not ready to be there yet. They're not ready for growth.
I really want to be challenged.
I do too. Only so. I mean,
to a certain extent.
To a certain extent.
Right.
Asterisk. A little asterisk.
Right. Read below.
Yeah, because I don't like aggressiveness.
And I would say that probably also has a lot to do with my father. He never raised his voice.
Mine either.
So that is immediate I will turn my neck so quick if you raise your voice at me.
My dad does not. He is the cool, calm, and collected.
Mine was
dude.
too.
And, you know, my mom was in an abusive marriage for a long time. And so I'm very sensitive to someone threatening or being, you know, almost even in a joking way. I'll be like, don't get it twisted.
Right.
I'm not the one. So I'm very, that's a big red flag for me. I'll say that's deal breaker red flag. I had a college boyfriend that called me a bitch one time, and I literally like came out of my body.
I had an out-of-body experience.
I had an out-of-body experience, and I was like, oh no,
Yeah, that's an absolute deal breaker for me is abuse.
Yeah, I don't play those games.
Verbal, physical, and, you know, I've been boxing lately, so I'm already thinking I'm a bad, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm strong. I'm like, oh, you don't want none of this. And I'm from the South Side.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what are your must-haves. And I, you know, because we're open, we don't want to restrict ourselves because we don't know in that season we may be helping someone else grow.
Yeah.
So one of my must-haves, I would say, and I think we both agree on this one must-have. He needs to have a relationship and love God.
Yes. Number one.
Number one. And mine is integrity.
I need you to be a leader.
Okay.
You got to lead. And I'm not saying that I test that, but I will provide opportunity for you to do that and you know, give you a chance to be that. And if repeatedly you don't, then
and you know,
like
black women, we get a stigma of we can't be led.
That's true.
And I think that leadership, you have to trust that person, but you also have to respect them as well.
Girl.
So if the respect and trust is not there, then you can't be led.
Right there. Literally.
I learned that, and I was like, you know, in the past relationship, I didn't respect him, and I didn't trust him. So, no, you can't lead me.
I grew into not respecting my husband at one point. One of them. I won't say which.
Right,
so
I was
nobody
gonna say,
gets
good, right?
But the experience was making different things was making me like, ooh, like I started losing respect, and so then I started acting out of that, where I was being disrespectful, which is not attractive.
Right.
So it was like a cycle of us just going downhill because I'm like, anyway, anybody's trying to hear what you're talking about.
Right.
Like it was like I'm disregarding you.
You
like,
learn from that.
That was one of the first things I had to work on. That's what I'm saying. Like I saw a video of myself talking, and I was like, oh, girl,
Sometimes that's all you need to do is record someone and then show them how they're acting.
That was ugly. I was like, ooh, I don't even want to be that. That's not even.
That's good.
That's not cool.
You took
Why am I with a
accountability.
man that I'm talking to that's
true.
crazy. So
That is true.
And I was younger too, but still, I don't want that. I need someone that I have respect for. You know how it is. Like, okay, as a woman, right?
Yes.
If there's certain guys, you just not even gonna come at that way.
Right.
Because of how they carry themselves.
Yes.
You never gonna do that. You're like, because he is not the one.
Correct.
You know? And that's how I carry myself, where I want people to respect me in a certain way. And it's not about being all, you know, a bully or like that, but it's the way that you're like,
boundaries.
Yeah, you set those boundaries early on and know, like, don't try me.
I'm not the one.
Yeah. Not today, not the one. Ooh. For real. Insert Amanda Seals right there.
Insert Amanda Seals.
For real.
I'm going to say another one for me, and this is from my past experience, is they need to illustrate a pattern of consistency.
Consistency is key.
Which lines up with
It lines up with integrity, too.
Yes.
Be a man of your word.
Yes.
And do what you say you're going to do.
Correct.
People who always cancel plans or always, like, have an excuse for why something can't happen, it's like...
Or I didn't do this because, or always, like you said, just always has an excuse.
Kind of like what we were talking about, like the commitment about promising kids that you're going to do something with them, right? And then if you repeatedly back out of those plans, those kids are like not trying
trust you.
They don't trust you, and so same thing in regular relationships. Try to stick to it, which is why I don't commit to a lot of stuff because I'm like I don't know how I'm gonna feel tomorrow.
Right. And I'm just in that season.
Yep. So. That's important. What else?
We talked about values, family, and friendships. And I think your favorite one.
Vulnerability. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I feel like, and Brene Brown, we keep talking about Auntie Brene, but she mentioned something I think one time about like it's like going out in the open field. It's almost like going out in the open field with no bulletproof vest on, and people just like you're kind of letting yourself be subject to get hurt, again, and that's the only way though. Like that to really experience real love, you have to kind of put yourself in a position to be hurt.
Come on, Mary J. Blige, real love.
Exactly, real love. And then but it's a give and take, right? So both people have to be that way. And then when you're both that way, it doesn't feel as much, like you're the one out there on the limb. It can't just
be one person.
It cannot.
It's not gonna work.
You trying to protect yourself, and I'm out here just being open and free. That's not fair.
Yeah.
Because I've been the one where I'm protecting myself, and I'm just like, I see you being open, but I'm not, So I don't want to be that.
That's a journey.
It's a journey.
It's a journey.
Life is a journey.
So, nice to haves. One of my nice to haves is humor and wit, because I love to laugh. I
kind of feel like I gotta have that.
Like without that, it's gonna be boring.
If you're not funny, I'm cool. Like I can't even be attracted to you. I need you to be able to at least tell some jokes, not even like knock jokes or nothing, but like just be funny. Like I love to laugh and stuff, so I need to be able to like cackle every now and then with you.
And I would say I love music, so I would love for you to speak in lyrics. Or if I speak to you in lyrics, you can get it.
Yeah, or movie quotes. For me, it's like movie quotes.
Or
like Martin.
Yes.
Ooh, if you know Martin,
it's key to your heart.
That is like very big deal. I'll be like, you got it? Like I'll say something, and he'll say something back. I'm like, look at that. Like getting attracted. But yeah, so like be funny. I like that.
Okay.
Nice to have. You know how women be like, you need to be 6 foot, blah blah blah, and
I would like them to have big hands, but
yeah, those are just like I don't feel like I don't have a list, but those things that you're saying, core value things, are very important.
Now I will say one. Let me interject here, and this probably might be a difficult one. I would prefer that they, do not have a lot of children.
When you say a lot, what do you mean?
It's so hard to quantify because I'm just going to say my past experience is the reason I feel like this is why I'm like, I don't really want to date a man with children, but that's really not fair because I have a child, but my child is older.
So if he had
I'm not in the season of really wanting to be a stepmother.
Interesting. So you're kind of limiting your pool.
I am. So I might be a little
because you're getting up there.
I am.
You're almost with me. So it's a little less. You got less people that don't have any kids. That's gonna be hard. That's hard.
But I will say the advantage of if you do have a child, I'm watching how you parent. That's gonna tell me how you love, how you spend your time. Because if, say for instance, you're co-parenting and you get your child on the weekends, well, you decide not to go get them one weekend. Now I'm questioning why, and it becomes a pattern of not going to get them. It's like you're not putting them first. So if you're not going to put your child first, why would you?
Well, hold on. Me? Well, your child first. Yeah, once you guys are not...
right,
because that's different.
That's different.
Yeah, because I do.
But while we're dating and I see a pattern, of you're being neglectful.
Yeah, I think that's very important.
That's a red flag.
Or if you letting your kids run over you.
Yeah.
That to me is guilt. Like I can't do that.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and I think a lot of guys parent out of guilt because they don't have whenever it's the co-parenting, usually the mom has the kids more. Yeah. You have your people who obviously you got your single dads and all that. Too, but 9 times out of 10, you usually have the mom might have the kids more, and then they let the kids get away with everything when they're there for that weekend, and that, nope, I don't like it.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not closed off to it, but I am watching you with a keen eye on how you parent.
A keen
period.
Because I think when I didn't have kids, it was way easier to be like, I don't want nobody who got no kids.
Right.
Now that I have children, obviously you can have like preferences on things that you know will be easier, because
I'll put that as a nice to have.
When the kids are younger, you might be dealing with some baby mama drama, and if they're not really on, you know, point with their co-parenting, that could be very struggling. Trust me, been there, done that. Don't want another t-shirt on that one. But when they're doing that well, then it could be a lot easier. I do like when the kids are older. Although mine are younger. Yes. I don't know, because I feel like I know my situation. I got that handled. Mine is good. But you never know with other people. That's like a wild card. You're not sure. And then the longer that they got to deal with all that. Right. Because mine is mostly about the baby mama drama, not so much the kids being around. Like, I don't care about if you have kids. I think it's more so, usually it's the relationships, you know, with the parents.
It just depends, because I know I keep using the word and bringing it up, seasons, and based on who I dated in the past who had children, it was hard to date because he had those commitments. And here I am, okay, my daughter's grown and gone. I have free time. So we can't date because maybe financially you can't, because this person needs that, or whatever the case may be. So I guess you have to figure out where you are.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Because it definitely could affect things depending upon what you got going
here's
on.
my love language, quality time, and we can't really spend quality time together because your time it has to be over there, and I respect that. I actually admire that.
But for what you need, you want, you know. So if he could balance those things out, I'm trying to get you a man, girl. Let me see what else you need so I can put it out there. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just playing. But, so if he can balance those things out, then that will probably be easier for you. Yeah. I'm not mad at it. Like you said, everybody has their preferences. Yeah. And you got to figure out what yours are so that you can not be setting yourself up for failure. Right. Thinking that you're going to be okay with something. That's like you being like, well, I need to give me a man. And then you got somebody.
Take him, girl. He got 10 kids. Exactly. But that's all right.
Yeah, knowing that's something that you don't.
And I can't, Like, when am I going to get time with you? It's hard. So, future state. What does our future state look like here?
I have no idea.
I
have no idea. No, it's fine.
Mine is a friend first.
Gotta be. I think you have to. And maybe that's why I friend zone people so quickly.
She's notorious for that. You're
in the friend zone now. If you make it through the friend zone, then
that's true.
Because some people don't like that. They be like, "Nah, I'm cool. I ain't trying to be your friend." See you. Okay, well. Because I do think sometimes if someone already is liking you, it's harder to see them as their true self if they're not like me and being like, "Here you go."
Right. They have that representative.
Everybody kind of puts that up in the beginning, I think, and then.
It's easier too when you're friends, I think.
Yeah. Well, if you're friends, you have something to go back to. You kind of have the commonalities and stuff, right? Correct. So it's really what we were saying before about having like hobbies together, something that you both love, whatever that is.
Something that connects you.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, we've talked quite a bit.
We did.
Let's talk about our call to action. So I would say as part of this bonus episode call to action, one is learn and know yourself, right?
Because I think this is something that Black women specifically, because that's who we're talking to. I just want us to be better and content with where we are as women, because we're powerful. Like, we are powerful, and when we have our mental state together and our emotional state together, like, we are a force to reckon with. So love you. Like, just get to know yourself. What are my likes and dislikes? Some people don't even know what they don't like, you know.
And journal about that. Like, you might go on a self-discovery, like, okay, no, I don't like this, but I do love this. This is what brings me happiness and joy, right?
I say go on a staycation.
Yep.
And, you know, if that's what you need, you know, to just kind of give yourself time to really sit down and think about these things. If it's something that you think you're going to want to be in a relationship one day, which a lot of people mostly would like to have a person. If you're not, then hey, do you and be by yourself. But for yourself, I think these are still things that you should do just to, like, be a better you, even whether you want to be in a relationship or not. it's just important to do because I feel like it's made me happier no matter what my situation is. I feel like I'm genuinely joyful on the inside as far as just with my life and you know, the situation doesn't have to be perfect.
It's not.
But you can still have something that you like about yourself or you enjoy. I'll go get in my bathtub and just light my incense and my candles and watch stuff on my iPad, reruns on my iPad while I'm in the tub. That to me is happiness.
Yes, in the heat of the night.
Date, what did you say? Date? Go on date?
Date yourself.
Yeah.
I've gone to the movies by myself. Oh, I always take myself out to eat. So, best way to find Kim is at a happy hour or a bar. And not just any bar. Like, you know, when I moved to Dallas, I was like, oh, wow, look at all these happy hours. They're everywhere. I could literally have one every day of the week.
You really could.
Self-care, the gym.
Yeah.
Love the gym. Dance, because dance brings me joy. So anywhere with some music, oh, boy.
Yeah. So it's really about, the call to action is take care of yourself, love yourself, be satisfied in your situation if you happen to be single. And even if you're married, I think you need to be start working on being satisfied. If you made it this far and you're listening to this and you're married,
right?
Work on these things for yourself in your marriage. You'll be a better wife because of it. Because I think if I had done all this prior, I would still be married.
Wow.
I really would. I think I would have. Well, I don't know if I'm that was way too much.
You might be giving some folks some hope.
No. That's the closure has taken place. Okay, but I think I would have been smarter on how I even delivered what I was going through. Right, like I might have been able to be more tolerant of certain things and kind of get through certain phases. Because I do think marriage is a journey. It's something that goes up and down. It's not going to be good all the time. So learning all these things may have given me a little bit more grace and more patience. Who knows? Yes. Well, now I can give that to the next person. Yay.
Yeah. Boy, that grace and patience can take you a long way.
It's real. So anyway, okay, well, we're going to be done with you people because we've been running our mouths for way too long about this. But we need you to go, if you are on Apple Podcasts, please go rate and review the podcast. And that's very important to us as podcasters. Check out boldblackgirls.com. That's where the latest episodes are, and you can find out anywhere else that you need to listen to. You listen to it now, so you know where to go. But latest stuff, join our newsletter because we're going to be doing a monthly newsletter letting you know, send in some of the resources from things that we talked about. We'll talk about the events that we're doing. We have some live podcast recordings coming up, our first one next month, and then we're going to do more of those afterwards. But come on and rate us. Give us some ratings and reviews.
And share any constructive feedback.
She loves to talk about constructive feedback.
I love it. Continuous improvement.
I guess so. I'm scared. But yeah, so far we've had good feedback. So we appreciate everybody who does listen to the podcast. And we will holler at y'all next week.
Have a bold week.
Have a bold week. Peace out.